Hello fellow gamers, welcome to the hunting guide. You are here with Kelldal, and today we are going to be hunting the Great Jaggi. So first off, let's go ahead and take a look at what we are going to be taking with us. So right now I've got basically my basic setup stuff that I'm going to be bringing on every hunt. So my potions to get my health back, steak for stamina in case I run out of the rations that the quest gives me. Pickaxe, bug net if I want to do any gathering, some last minute stuff, or I just happen to end up passing by something and I want to gather a few items, and then whetstones in case I run out of the mini whetstones that they end up giving me. Alright, and then let's take a quick look at our setup here. So I went ahead and just bought a cheap longsword, stuff that you would probably end up using around the time that you're going to be fighting Great Jaggi, just so I'm not that overpowered. And I do have my plus set of hunter's armor, and so this is a pretty well-rounded armor set that I really like to use. The resistances aren't too bad on it. As you can see, I've got 10 water resistance and -20 to thunder. So only would have to really worry about that with any thunder damage. Not going to have to worry about that on the Great Jaggi hunt, so I'm not too bad right now. And then the active skills that I have on right now are auto tracker, so I don't need to use paintballs. I can just track them on the map. Trap masters, so it guarantees combinations will succeed for traps, and it speeds up trap and bomb setting time. So if you like to use bombs and traps, it's pretty nice to have. I don't use them all that much, so it's not a big concern to me, but it's nice to have it anyways. Outdoorsman, I really like this one. Frees up one inventory spot, especially for those gathering missions, and you want to have that map up there. That way you don't have to take it out of the supply box. And then sneak, this is pretty nice as well, especially if you are more of a support character or something like that. This decreases the likelihood of being targeted by monsters, so most likely the monster will end up targeting Cha-Cha or Kayamba, which will be coming along on the quest with me in single player, or if you're playing multiplayer, it'll be targeting basically your friends instead. So if you like to play with bow guns or something like that and you want to stay off to the side and shoot and not have to worry about being targeted as much, get sneak put on your armor, because it'll definitely come in handy. Alright, so that's what I'm going to be taking with me, and so let's go ahead and take a look at some information about the Great Jaggi. So Monster Hunter, the whole series in general is really important to check up on information from outside sources and stuff like that. So I can go ahead and pull up the browser right here. Alright, so KiraNaiko.com is one that I've been using quite frequently for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. So it's a pretty sleek design here. It's got all the links to the pages down here, so item search, monster pages, location maps, quest lists, weapon trees, armor sets, etc. So we'll go ahead and click on monster pages. So here are all the large monsters right here. We want to click on Great Jaggi. And so here's all the information about Great Jaggi that you may need to know. So right down here, this damage chart, this is kind of the most important thing right here. So this lets you know basically what they are weak to, or what they are resistant to. So Great Jaggi is pretty simple. He just has his head and body. Those are the two main parts that you're going to be hitting. So obviously hitting the head is going to be doing more damage to Great Jaggi here. And then he is very weak to fire, pretty weak to water, thunder, and ice, and then just a little bit to dragon. So he doesn't really have any resistances. Very basic large monster, not much you have to worry about. So here's their tolerances. So these are the different status effects that you can put on them: sleep, poison, paralyzation, dizzy, and fatigue. Shows any resistances, stuff like that. Shows how much they increase each time, because the status effects, each time they end up getting hit by it, they get a little bit more resistant to it. So these are all the different maps here, and it shows which areas Great Jaggi is going to go into. These are the size ranges that you can end up seeing. And here are all the items that you can get from carving or as rewards. So if you want to get a certain item for crafting or something like that, you can check up here. figure out the best percent of drop rate and what you're going to need to do if you need to do the high rank missions, the low rank missions, etc. If you need to do increase the chances from captures or something like that, from wounding certain parts of the body. So this shows, you can get the King's Frill, the Screamer, and the Great Jaggi head from wounding the head on Great Jaggi. And then it also shows the shiny drops as well, and so those will drop during the actual mission when you're out there during the fight, and that'll show you exactly what can drop from that. And then here's just a list of all the quests that Great Jaggi can appear into, and then again the link to all the other large monsters at the bottom. So it's a pretty nice setup, very simple, lets you know what you need to know, and very easy to navigate around there. So I really love this website to check out and look up basically all those resistances right here on that damage chart for all the different large monsters. So that way I know maybe what I want to take with me if I want to take a certain sword or a certain weapon along with me. Load up with certain shots for my bowgun and that sort of thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some food before we end up heading out. Alright, so let's see if I can grab that defender low. It's going to be really nice to have on me since I don't have to worry too much about resistances or anything else like that during this mission. There we go. A little bit of a defense boost, so I should be all set for going out to hunt Great Jaggi. Alright, so here we are in the desert plains. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Veggie Elder here and get some extra supplies. And pick up the items from the supply box. Got the room in my inventory, so I'm going to pick up this extra stuff too. That obviously I can't use with a longsword, but I can store it when I get home. Alright, now I'll go ahead and keep my first aid meds up. Alright, so I can see where the Great Jaggi is because of my auto tracker. So I'm going to go ahead and head on over there. Looks like he actually might be heading over to Area 4 now. Yep, so here he comes. So here is Mr. Great Jaggi. Let's let him come on over here. He's going to do a little yell right there. Try to intimidate us. So Great Jaggi has a couple of movesets. So there's his kind of dual tail swipe there. So he does a tail swipe on each side. And pretty easy to avoid. And even if you're kind of over on one side of him, you can end up avoiding both of those tail swipes and then also get quite a bit of damage on him because he stays in one spot. Alright. So he does that leap back every now and then, kind of dodges out of the way. That can get kind of annoying sometimes, as you can see right there. He ended up dodging back and wasn't able to get all the hits that I wanted on him. Alright. So I use the longsword quite a bit. It's a pretty easy weapon to use, so especially if you're getting into Monster Hunter and you don't want something that's too complicated, pick up the longsword. So in the top left-hand corner, you can see there's a meter that ends up charging up over time. So I've got it charged up all the way right now. So now what I can do is I can just spam R on him, and it ends up doing this combo right here. And when I end up hitting him with that last swipe that you'll end up seeing, I'll see if I can get it off in just a second. Alright. So here I've got it charged up again. Let's see if I can get him here. Alright, so I spam this, do this combo. There we go. And so now you can see that there is white around my charge meter in the top left. And so now my damage has increased with my weapon. And that'll end up draining over time. I can fill up that meter again. Let's see if I can get him again. He's trying to get away. No, didn't end up getting him. Alright, so now he is limping off. So he is pretty damaged right now. So that is an indication that you're getting close to the end of the mission. And if this was a capture mission, I could end up putting down a trap and trying to capture him. But I'm not. I'm just here to kill Great Jaggi. So I'm going to come on into his little lair where he's going to hide out. Sometimes you'll end up finding him sleeping, trying to recover some of his health and stamina and stuff like that. Alright, now I've got him. Oh, one of his little buddies ended up helping him out there. And we finish Great Jaggi off. Alright. Run over here and get a couple carves in. See what I get. And usually at the end here, for these missions, you have a minute left, so that's why I kind of bring some of my gathering supplies with me, because you can end up running over to these gathering places and end up picking up a couple extra things to bring home with you. Alright, so that was hunting Great Jaggi. So pretty simple fight, only a couple moves that you really need to look out for. There's that tail swipe, the body lunge, and stuff like that. Doesn't have a lot of health, pretty much weak to everything. So pretty basic fight, easy to get into the game, fighting Great Jaggi. And so hopefully we will catch you next time on another hunt. See you later.